I played the game for around 20 years, and as I was approaching the end of my sort of playing days, I was contemplating going into refereeing or coaching. And most people go into coaching, but after giving referees lots of help and assistance over the years, I thought that refereeing might be a good way to give a little bit back to the game. And so I was in my late 20s, and I was looking for a new way to contribute back to the game, and so I signed up with the local Referees Association, and it all started there. First and foremost, you need to have quite a lot of courage, because you're not the most popular of characters at times, and out in the middle of the pitch you need to have the courage to make decisions which are obviously right for the players, it's right for the image of the game, but not always going to be popular with those on the sideline and those involved. You need to have a really good sense of what's going on in the game, a good feeling for what the players are trying to achieve. You need to have a good sense of what's right and wrong. You need to have good judgment techniques. You need to have a really good sense of fair play. You need to have strong physical capabilities, and you need to have the right balance between self-doubt and self-belief, so that you have the confidence to go out there and do it week after week, but you also have the ability to look at how you can improve. Physical preparation is one of the key foundations for a successful performance. Players cover around 9 to 10 kilometres in a match, whereas referees are covering between 11 to 14 at the elite level. So physical preparation is absolutely vital if you want to be in the right place to make the right decisions. I spent a lot of time doing a lot of technical assessment and analysis of the laws of the game, and watching a lot of matches either in person or watching them on TV to help visualise situations and how best to manage them. And that's a key part of your preparation leading into each match. In 2001 I joined the Auckland Referees Association and started to cut my teeth working with a whole bunch of weekend warriors, learning how to control a match safely and fairly. I moved to Wellington in 2002 and continued working in the local leagues down there, and in 2003 I started to make a little bit of progress around New Zealand Football's referee development program. I attended one of the academies where I guess my potential was seen, and I was encouraged to keep going. And from there I went into the National League program and started refereeing in the National League, and then what became the New Zealand Football Championship in 2004. On the 1st of January 2007 I was promoted to the FIFA International Referees Panel, and 2007 was to be a really big breakthrough for me. I had a little bit of success at some local tournaments here in Oceania, and then I was appointed to the South Pacific Games in Samoa. This tournament served as the World Cup qualifiers for Oceania, and as one of the referees there I was very privileged to control the opening match between Tahiti and New Caledonia, and also the final between Fiji and New Caledonia, which was to also serve as the gold medal match. And it was at that tournament I felt I really made a big breakthrough in the Oceania region in terms of demonstrating what I had to offer as a referee. The end of 2007 was a really memorable time for me. I was appointed to the LA Galaxy versus Phoenix game involving the former England captain David Beckham. So that was to be a great moment. And I was also advised by New Zealand Football that I'd been appointed to the 2010 World Cup Referee Development Program. So it was a great month late in 2007 when I learnt all this news. The match between the Galaxy and the Phoenix was obviously a real high point. David Beckham was in attendance, of course, as were a number of other big-name players. And the match was played in front of around 35,000 people, which was a bit of a record in New Zealand at the time. In 2008 was the start of the 2010 World Cup Referee Development Program, and the very first event was a conference in Gran Canaria, Spain. Myself and 53 of the other selected referees from around the world were invited to that conference, and that was to form the baseline for the development program going forward leading into South Africa this year. 2009 the program continued for the World Cup referees. I was appointed to the 2009 Confederations Cup in South Africa, and I controlled one match there between USA and Egypt, and that would be by far the most exciting match I've ever been involved in. At the time Italy was playing Brazil in the tournament, and the winner of those two matches was going to go through to the semi-finals of the tournament. And USA won that match 3-0, and it was pure excitement right to the very end. And it's been by far the most exciting and exhilarating match that I've been involved in my refereeing career. In March 2010 I received a phone call from the chairman of our referees committee to say that I'd been provisionally selected for the FIFA 2010 World Cup, which was a great moment, albeit it was pretty early in the morning when he made the phone call. He was pretty excited, as I was, to learn the news. We attended a further conference in Spain as part of the preparation for the World Cup, and then in early June we flew out to South Africa to start our preparation. Match day finally arrives, and whether it's a World Cup match or it's a game between Navy versus Waiuku here in New Zealand, preparation is pretty much the same. We get up and we go through our little pre-match instructions at the hotel, make sure we get on lots of water and lots of food, and around 2 hours prior to the match we're in the van on our way with a security escort off to the stadium. We arrive usually around about 90 minutes prior to kick-off, and at that point all the nerves have started to settle down a bit now. Now we're into our routine, and all that natural anxiety around the match and how it's going to go for us have pretty much faded away. We're now really focused on the job. And over the next 90 minutes of preparation, it's all about making sure we get to kick-off ready to go and nice and focused and sharp. We go through a warm-up session just like the players, so from about 45 minutes prior to kick-off, we're out on the pitch with the players. They can see us, we can see them, and it just helps build confidence between the players and the officials. And then around about 20 minutes prior to the kick-off of the match, we're coming back in to go through our final preparations, put on all our equipment so that we're ready to go, and then we're meeting the players in the tunnel around about 7 or 8 minutes prior to kick-off. One of the great benefits of refereeing is that you get to have the best seat in the house, and I was really privileged to have the best seat in the house in tournaments and competitions here in New Zealand, in Australia, across Oceania, FIFA tournaments, the Olympics, and now the World Cup. And that ability to be up close and personal with the best players in your particular area is something that shouldn't be underestimated. You also get a huge amount of satisfaction from controlling matches. When you keep the game safe, you keep it fair and you keep it enjoyable, people deep down know that the referees had a big part to play in that. And you do get a really good sense of satisfaction when you've delivered a good, safe, fair and enjoyable performance for everyone. A lot of people ask me about why would they want to become a referee, and I explain to them it's a great way to be involved in the game. If you're a supporter of the game, there are lots of opportunities as a player, as a coach, but there's also great pathways as a referee, be it to contribute just at a local level, or you could potentially go a long way and get involved at an elite level. And so refereeing is certainly a relevant and viable option for those that want to stay involved in the game and they want to contribute back to the game in a way that is meaningful and really adds value. So where to from here? I'm now an international World Cup referee, and that's obviously a great honour, but really this is just the start for us. We've now made a breakthrough on the international scene, and there is some great opportunities over the next 4 years to be involved in various tournaments around the world. We've been very fortunate to have been selected for the 2010 FIFA Club World Cup in Abu Dhabi, so we're leaving for that in a few weeks' time. Next year there's a number of age group World Cups, one in Mexico, another one in Colombia, and then in 2012 there's the Olympics in London. And all this is working towards the FIFA 2014 World Cup in Brazil, which is now our target, and so this is the start of a brand new adventure for us. Referees, just like players and coaches, make the odd mistake from time to time, and it's just the nature of the game. You're dealing with a live situation where things happen in split seconds, and you only have one view to see things, and so you have to make the best decision based on the evidence you have in front of you. What is important though is that you look at your performance afterwards, you reflect on the decisions you have made and perhaps the mistakes you've been involved in, to see what you can learn from those, to make sure you don't replicate those in the matches you've got coming up. At times it can look pretty hostile out there between those four white lines, and there is a certain degree of industrial language used between players and referees, and again it's just part of the game. The reality is that it's a little bit of white line fever. What happens on the field is often left on the field. The relationship you have with players is really important, and when you're operating at the elite level you get to see some of the players on a regular basis, and those relationships develop over time once they develop confidence in you and you develop an ability to understand what they're trying to achieve. Refereeing at any level requires a level of commitment and dedication. When you're first starting out, or if you're operating at local levels, you have to put in a little bit of training and a little bit of preparation to make sure you deliver a good performance. As you climb the grades, that level of commitment and dedication starts to rise. And for the World Cup program, we were putting in around 15 to 20 hours a week of training and preparation, as well as considerable hours travelling both within New Zealand and overseas to participate in our matches. And it's really important as an elite referee that you have a good sense of balance, trying to keep the home fires burning, keep your professional career on track, as well as achieving your personal goals in refereeing. I'm really lucky that my friends and family have been so supportive and have understood the sacrifices that I've had to make and the impact on them. I've been really fortunate that the Navy's been such a supportive employer. Firstly, they gave me a great set of skills that I've been able to transfer onto the pitch and have served me really well as an elite referee. And secondly, they've also given me the chance to balance a really meaningful professional career, serving in a number of roles in Auckland and Wellington, as well as travelling to fulfil my international obligations on a football level.
Hi there, I'm Ken Wallace, Referee Development Officer for New Zealand Football. So I got into refereeing because I smashed my knee up and I couldn't play anymore, and so ever since then I've had a great time either as a referee or as an instructor or as an administrator. Like Mike, I involved nationally and internationally. I went to a number of FIFA tournaments. I've been around the world as an instructor, as an assessor and as a committee member, and it's just been one great adventure after another. It's fantastic, you know, whether you're young and old, or you can still get a great deal out of refereeing and the involvement in refereeing. With New Zealand Football, my current role is about recruitment, retention, coaching, development, administration, management, just generally everything really. If it's got referee in it, it comes to me. So as you've heard from Mike, there's a lot of real benefits from refereeing, and I guess if you want to come into refereeing, it's really easy. There's information on the websites, on the New Zealand Football website. There's courses being offered all the time within the 7 federations of New Zealand. Just contact the local referee development officer, or even contact me and I can put you in touch with the right person. They'll ease you into refereeing, and once you're in there you'll find a lot of tremendous support from buddy systems or mentoring systems. So in your first year you take the Level 1 course for referees, which gives you basically a refereeing 101, how to referee. You get appointed to local games, you go along to local games. There will usually be a support person there for the first 2 or 3 games. You'll be seen throughout the year, and you'll have the ability to give fair, safe and enjoyable games for the players, which is what you're there for. So refereeing is all about making sure that the game is fair and safe, and if it's fair and safe, it's enjoyable. It's something that can be done by people who have a passion for the game, who've got an interest in the game, whether young or old, male or female, no matter what their level of educational qualification is. All people have got the ability to rise to whatever level they aspire to. We've got tremendous pathways in place, good programs in place, and people can achieve, as you've seen with Mike's story.